Long Take Review, where 4 college professors talk film, providing insight, not assigning homework. I'm your host, Jen Sipchak-Bankert, and I'm back to hand out some hardware with 3 gold men of various sizes. That sounds weird, PT. Okay. Aren't we handing out letters?
No, but it's not little gold men. It's 3 gold men. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's too layered. That's too multi-layered.
All right.
No, it's fine. We're leaving it all in. Okay. First, before the sun went down, he thinks that was the best day of his life. It's PT McNiff. Are you ready to engrave some names, PT?
And there she was again. I had to admit, she was beautiful. She had a body that carried her head around and a butt that seemed to say, hello, I'm a talking butt. Elegant? Yeah, I'd say so. But like a teenager with 3 babysitting jobs, I didn't need another babysitting job. I'm doing great, Jen. How are you?
What hour is this? And the video with him is still trending. Greg Cass, pwned, owned with a P, whatever that means. It's Greg Cass. How are you feeling about our task here today, Greg?
I want you to know that I'm in it to win it when it comes to sandwiches. I'm great, Jen. Excited. I've been waiting on pins and needles for a full week since the nominations were released. I want to know who wins the letters.
I know. It has been what feels like a long time. It's only been minutes. And finally, by his hand, his people grow strong. He does not bend down and die just because AWA turns his back on him. He turns his back on AWA. It's Antonio Elefano. How are you doing, Antonio?
Pretty sure it's Carrie that writes, Miranda's a lawyer, Charlotte is an art dealer, and Samantha's a whore. I'm doing great.
Oh, welcome, dear listeners, to the circus that is part 2 of what we thought was not going to take that long. We are here today to finish what we started, part 2 of our annual letters extravaganza, the one where we actually get to hand out the awards. In case you missed part 1, which if you're actually listening to this, our apologies, because we are recording these 2 episodes back to back. But for you, it's probably going to be more than that. So if you're confused by why we are punchy, we just shared our individual lists of nominations in our chosen categories and built consensus nominees that we are here to discuss in this episode today. So yeah, we're recording the back-to-back. You are probably listening to them spread out by multiple days. We will get into the next steps of our process in a moment, but first, PT, if listeners enjoy the accolades we bestow and want to hear more from us, what can they do?
I forgot to do a thing for this, so I'll just say, if you don't want to miss new episodes when they drop, please follow The Long Take Review wherever you get your podcasts. We host the feed on Jen Substack at thelongtake.substack.com. But you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Overcast, and many more. Wherever you're listening right now, you can find us there. In fact, you already have. You can also follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at The Long Take Review. We are also on Letterboxd. The account is at LTR Pod, or you can search for the hashtag LTR Pod to see what each of us individually has been watching. Jen.
Thanks, BT. So in the last episode, we gathered our nominees. We have our list of nominees, and now this episode is all about talking through the winners. We're going to have 1 winner in every category, 1 honorable mention, and we reserve the right, because this is how we roll, to be elastic about this, and maybe we might have a co-winner or 2 along the way. We make the rules, as PT points out in this outline he generously wrote for us. So let's get down to it, to the theoretical trophy distribution, which is different than the cat or dog distribution system. This is the awards distribution system. It is less random, hopefully. But
eventually we can actually 3D print trophies so we can mail them to people. But we don't have them yet. That's why they're still
they're letters. So would they just be like the alphabet? Like what does the letter statue look like?
To be determined. Of all the things to get into right now, it's probably not
like a book with letters. I don't know.
I would just say it would say LTR, and then it would be, I don't know. And maybe with a little paper underneath, so it's looks like a piece of paper.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
I like it.
Our first category is Best Supporting Actor. The consensus nominees, the final nominees, I should say, And I'll just note, like we combined the consensus nominees and then the other people push forward. So this is just one final list of our nominees for people to discuss. So nominees and supporting actor are Josh Brolin for Weapons / Wake Up Dead Man / The Running Man, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacoby Jupe for Hamnet, Tim Key for Ballad of Wallace Island, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Josh O'Connor for History of Sound / Wake Up Dead Man, potentially with an asterisk, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. So the asterisk is, I'll say, we do have Josh O'Connor also having moved forward for Wake Up Dead Man with some sub-mentions of his other movies in Best Lead Actor as well. We don't have to take him out, but maybe that would change our discussion, our conversation. Let's open the floor. Who wants to say what about what they think we should do here? Antonio, you look ready to talk.
Well, it seems I don't want this ceremony to go by without Josh O'Connor walking away with something. So that's why I'd like us to figure out where we think it's most likely for him to like win it. I understand the categories. I mean, he's been in so many movies. So, do you all feel the same way about just the year of Joshua O'Connor, but also just the performances in these films?
Yes, I would love for Josh O'Connor to receive an award or at least an honorable mention.
Sure.
Just looking ahead, I feel like there's tougher competition relatively in Best Actor.
Okay.
So maybe I now understand why so many people run in supporting when they are actually glorified leads. So I'd say if we're going to give it to him, we probably should give it to him here, just so we don't regret it later when we can't give it to him in the other category.
Craig, what are your thoughts?
I would much rather fight for him in the other category. So,
all right.
If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. So I don't know. I was gonna make a system a strategy suggestion that the person who originally read the category first should offer the opening bid for what they propose for winner and honorable mention, and then others should fight.
Okay.
So
I like that.
I took this category first. The rotation was Greg, Antonio, Jem, PT. So we should go roughly in that order. I am going to propose that the winner of this category, I believe deeply that Benicio del Toro is going to get the Oscar in this category. So I would like to see, and my proposal is, I would like to see Delroy Lindo take the letter with the honorable mention of Stellan Skarsgård. Those are my picks from this list. Would anybody like to fight me about any part of that?
I mean, but like my immediate reaction is we're not giving Benicio del Toro anything for One Battle After Another, even though he's going to win the Oscar, which we don't know is necessarily true because Stellan could win the Oscar. Or, something crazy could happen. I think that you're right. I think he's the most likely person to win. I'm not necessarily against it, but that's my first reaction. Is just like, are we sure? But I'm the most bullish on One Battle, and I understand Greg is also the least interested in rewarding it, a highly rewarded movie that's likely to win many things. I love the idea of Delroy Lindo winning Best Supporting Actor. So I definitely endorse that. And I love the idea of not awarding Stellan Skarsgård in the year of our Lord 2025. And that includes for his performance in Sentimental Value. But I just want to make sure we are sure we're going with eyes wide open that we're going to overlook Benicio del Toro.
So my counter offer related to what PT's saying is that we do Delroy Lindo as the winner, Benicio del Toro as the honorable mention, because in our last episode, which is so long ago, we talked about the two of them as like a really nice character pairing because their performances had a lot of this like similar appeal, and they're both the sort of heart and soul of the story in a lot of ways. They offer like comedic relief, but also these really kind of like deep moments. So I think they work together nicely as like a little pair of winners.
And I will add, in terms of, again, as likely the most prominent advocate or the most aggressive advocate for one battle. I would be okay if this were the only acting win for one battle in our letters. If that opens things up,
so you're
for
offering up goodwill for later.
Yeah. Like I feel like if you're going to award one person for one battle for their singular performance, all bets are off in terms of PTA nominations later. But to me, it feels like I would prioritize Benicio. With all due respect to Stellan, who I also nominated. Antonio, what do you think? And are we missing someone you want to make sure we refocus on?
I mean, I'm fine with the debate coming down to Delroy Lindo, Benicio del Toro, and Stellan Skarsgård. I will say that probably my favorite performance on this list is actually Tim Key in Ballad of Wallace Island. But I'm fine. I'm fine with Delroy. I don't know. I don't want to be the one to break the tie between Stellan Skarsgård though and Benicio del Toro. That's rough. I'd probably go Skarsgård, honestly. So what is something else?
I mean, technically, instead of breaking a tie, you have created a tie.
Yeah, I have.
It's 2-2. Now, again, we totally can make up the rules. There's nothing that says we can't give the win to Delroy Lindo and have 2 honorable mentions for Benicio and Stellan. Maybe that's excessive, but in theory, we could do that.
I like it.
I don't know, Greg. Are you okay with that?
I like the justice for Delroy Lindo here. So yeah. I'm happy with that part.
My high school love of Get Shorty is feeling so validated right now. I watched that movie obsessively on VHS.
Amazing.
I'm fine with the co honorable mentions. It feels like a cop out, but we don't need to black any eyes at this stage.
I mean, in theory, there's nothing that stops us in the same way we're making up rules. There's nothing that stops us from going back later and saying, okay, we could change
narrowing it down. Sure.
Yeah.
I like it. All right.
All right. Moving on to supporting actress. I'll read the final nominees and then we'll pass it to Antonio to make an initial bid on this. So our final nominees in this category were Marissa Abella for Black Bag, Odessa Azion for Marty Supreme, Nina Haas in Hedda, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wunmi Masaku in Sinners, and Teyana Taylor in One Battle After Another. I will also note, while Antonio maybe is thinking, I apologize for any mistakes in the alphabetization and continued mistakes in pronunciation. So, Antonio, what's your opening bid?
All right. So here, I mean, look, Teyana Taylor is incredible. Also a favorite for the Oscar. So I'm going to propose. I'm going to propose the winner actually being Nina Haas for Hedda, and the honorable mention Marissa Abella for Black Bag, a film that has done surprisingly well. That did surprisingly well in our consensus nominees throughout this. She would be a good representative of that film for an honor. I understand that that's probably not going to carry the day, but that's what I'm gonna set forth first.
I appreciate you getting weird with it. And you're not starting with the public option. You're starting with single payer. And I think that's the right move in the debate. I really liked Hedda. I will, Hedda was right outside a couple like screenplay and actress for me. I had to look up who Nina Haas was to remind me who she was in that movie, which is not a great resounding support for me that she should win Best Supporting Actress, that I didn't recall who she was or what her character did in the movie. That said, I did look her up and I was like, okay, yeah, she was good. But I wouldn't think she was a winner of Best Supporting Actress from this list. Personally.
Way to support women in academia, PT.
Well, fair. But anyway, that's what I'm going to say for now. Jen, what do you think?
Well, so it's funny. Like, I'm trying to look at this list, which is a great list. Kudos to the people who made it. I'm looking at like who has the most nuanced performance and who has the most difficult performance, because I do feel like that should factor in. And looking at this list, without thinking of the other people who were on the list before we narrowed it down to this, I feel like Odessa Zion is actually popping up for me in terms of like, she could have easily had like a nothing burger kind of role in Marty Supreme. You know what I mean? Like, she could have just been like oh, I'm just here. I'm the girlfriend who's getting pushed around. Right. But she steps up in such a big way and has to be both kind of like naive and not know what she's doing, but also smarter than Marty Supreme and frustrated with him, but also in love with him. And like, I feel like she has to actually do a lot in that movie. That's not helpful in terms of what Antonio said. Because I would also support Nina Haas. I'm okay moving Nina Haas down to an honorable mention, and then having somebody else that we feel more strongly about is the winner. But Greg, what do you think? You haven't even seen Hedda, so this is hard for you to weigh in on, I think.
Well, that's what
we
I
found
was
the one
say.
movie you haven't seen.
No,
we did it.
Well, I am clenching my anus in a response to, you guys don't remember that moment in Black Bag, right?
Yes.
No? Yeah. Okay.
You're passing the polygraph test.
Yes. So I, as Jen just said, Hedda is a movie I have not seen yet, though I do plan to. So apologies for that. I don't even remember you all mentioning it till last episode, or else I would have like prioritized that. It didn't even occur to me that was going to be such a big part of tonight, and I'm glad it is, and I will gladly watch it soon. My response before anybody else talks to Antonio's was going to be, because I've only seen one of the two, I would flip them. I think Black Bag has gotten a lot of attention in our nominees tonight, but I do not expect it to be in a lot of winner conversations. So I would flip those two, and then I will gladly trust you all that Nina Haas is worth an honorable mention.
Again, I don't know about Nina Haas in Head. I don't disagree necessarily. I like the idea of Marissa Bella winning for Black Bag, but I like what Jen was saying about Odessa Zion for Marty Supreme. And also Amy Madigan in Weapons, although she's getting plenty of wins, she'll be fine. We don't have to be a group that gives her a win. But I would want either of those personally over Nina Haas. But I'm, would be willing if Jen and Antonio, who are the two people that really liked Hedda and advanced a lot of nominations for it, are very strong about it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna really.
Wait, Antonio, what can we get out of this?
Be the firewall?
Is there a different category where we'd rather have a Hedda win that we can negotiate for later?
It's lead actress is Tessa Thompson is what I would fight for, but that's also going to be that's a tough category too. So but we agree on Marissa Abella for Black Bag.
Yeah,
I feel very good about that as a winner.
That's very fun. I like that.
And I will just add, she was a real standout for me. I hadn't watched Industry. I still haven't. And it was like, who is this? And how did she get this awesome at going toe-to-toe with all these incredible actors? So great pick.
Do we want to do, because now we've established precedent that we can have two honorable mentions. So we want to do Odessa Zion and Nina Haas?
I think it's better to not do that every single time. I would rather defer to the Hedda lovers and let her win than do that. But like, I will just say this. I mean, it's hard because there's two big factors for the other possible place where Marty Supreme would win, which would be Best Actor, which is that we gave Timothée Chalamet the award last year, and also he's been winning and likely will be winning. So I think that sort of I think we're already collectively leaning towards the they're already winning, it's fine, to at least sort of feel that way. So like, is this the only place to give Marty Supreme something? And there isn't, because maybe it's ensemble, maybe it's screenplay, but I'm putting that out there again. If the head-to-heads are really in favor of this, I'm happy to defer. But I did not leave that movie thinking about that movie as anything besides a Tessa Thompson powerhouse performance. I didn't think about any of the other performers as being standouts personally. But that was me.
Then I'll concede on Zion. I mean, who I thought was incredible. in Marty Supreme.
And for the record, I'm not fighting for Wunmi Masako here because we just gave Delroy. I don't want to overdo it on Sinners, so we just gave Delroy Lindo a win. So I just wanted a record that if people are like, why didn't you mention Wunmi Masako?
And I think Tana Taylor and Amy Madigan are in the boat of they're
fighting
to win the actual Oscar, and we want to kind of step beyond that. All right, your the sacrifice of Hedda here is noted and will be remembered. It's
better
a real Telltale Games moment in this ceremony. So, okay, our winner is Marissa Abella for Black Bag, as everyone knew going into this night, and Odessa Zion from Marty Supreme as an honorable mention.
They would be great in a movie together.
They would be.
Just saying. I would watch that. Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty great. Up next is featured performer. Our final nominees are Alice Carvalho for The Secret Agent, Bridget Everett for Wake Up Dead Man, Buddy Guy in Sinners, John Carroll Lynch in Sorry Baby, William H. Macy in Train Dreams, and Hadley Robinson in The History of Sound. Jen, what do you think?
I feel like this is slam dunk John Carroll Lynch. Like, easy.
I agree.
He comes out of nowhere, like with a Mack truck, and is just like, I am here to give a really great performance. Goodbye.
And just the way it shifts too, that he comes out angry and then flips when he realizes the situation. So good.
I'm happy to give John Carroll Lynch the win. I do not think it's a slam dunk because I thought Bridget Everett was the slam dunk here, but if we will give her honorable mention, then I'm fine. Because I think that scene is maybe the best scene of the year, and it's her like turn from being like the woman from a TV comedy who shows up to do some jokes into like suddenly this like incredibly emotional and like tear choked a very realistic confession is as crucial and also has a turn there. But I love John Carroll Lynch in Sorry Baby, so I'm happy to give him the win in this category, but I would put Bridget Everett for honorable mention, with all due respect to these other nominees who are also all incredible.
They're all good.
I think really show just how great a category this is and what a good idea it was to include it in this ceremony.
It still feels like animal performance would have been better, but go on.
What about foliage? Okay. Winner. Are we okay with this as the final thing? John Carroll Lynch from Sorry Baby is the winner.
Let's do honorable mention for Bridget Everett. Let's do it. Okay.
For the first time,
I'll co-sign that because I don't disagree with anything said. I was really inspired by the Hadley Robinson pick because that was one that I hadn't thought of. So I really like that pick as well. But if I had to pick between Bridget Everett and Hadley Robinson, I'd give it to Bridget Everett. I can hear her tone shift to father, and wrecks me.
I had the benefit of being the last person to see The History of Sound, another episode I wish I had a chance to be on, but I didn't see the movie until later, and that we had already started, and by that I mean I had already started kicking around the idea for this. So once that scene ended, I was like, oh my god, that's a surefire nominee. That was so good. So yeah, in another year, it could have been Hadley Robinson. But not this year, because this year we gave it to John Carroll Lynch in Sorry Baby, with an honorable mention to Bridget Everett in Wake Up Dead Man.
PT.
Yes.
Could I please give you the final nominee list for your category while you think through your initial offering of what you're going to give to us?
Would be great.
Right?
Yes,
all right.
please.
So nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay are Begonia, written by Will Tracy, Frankenstein, adapted by Guillermo del Toro, Hamnet, adapted by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell, Hedda, adapted by Nia DaCosta, The History of Sound, adapted by Ben Shattuck, No Other Choice, adapted by Park Chan-wook et al., One Battle After Another, adapted by Paul Thomas Anderson, and Wake Up Dead Man, written, because it's not really an adaptation, by Ryan Johnson.
It's tough with the category. We're pushing back against category fraud in some ways, but not in others, not in the screenplay. Okay. This is great. And I promise I did not arrange it this way, but this is one of the categories where I was like, I have a strong preference. And my strong preference was for this category to be where we reward no other choice. And Park Chan-wook. Because I think, all the things said in the last episode, but about, transposing it to another country, to another time, to another era, and, making what seems like, I have not read it, but what seems like a very American novel about sort of individualization and needing to sort of, push back against American style capitalism. I mean, that's part of what is carried over into Korea in this movie, but to switch it over into that Korean culture, I think was really incredible. So I would put forward that as the winner, with the recognition that we don't need to. Do we need to give one battle after another every single note that it might deserve it here, but it's going to win plenty of awards for screenplay. So in the interest of being very magnanimous, even though I don't know if I would necessarily choose this, I will put honorable mention for Hamnet for all of you, because I know all of you have, I think, read it and like it, and I really want to make sure that no other choice wins. So I'm putting Hamnet out for honorable mention to smooth all of you over here on this horse trading episode that we are doing together. So that's my first proposal. Happy to listen to other ideas.
I love No Other Choice. I'm fine with that as the winner. But to be honest, what I would have next would be Hedda. I'd be happier with Hedda or The History of Sound. But I also understand that others feel stronger about Hamnet. So I'm sorry, Jen, I cut you off.
No, I was going to say the other reason to not really count one battle after another here, or be okay with not giving it anything, is my understanding is it's so loosely inspired by Vineland that it's like, do we even call it an adaptation? I think we have to, because it was an inspiration for it, but like, I don't know. I'm fine with what Antonio just suggested. I do feel like if we're thinking about adaptation as, we're all writing teachers here. Oftentimes we're really trying to push students to do like radical revision, global revision. And I do feel like, as we said in our previous episode with Hedda, there are some fundamental changes to like there's a lot that changes, but also some things that don't, that are really core to the play. But then also with History of Sound, like I remember going into this movie thinking I was not going to like it, because I found out that it's just the beginning and the end of the book and not all the other stories in the middle. And I was like, how could you make a good adaptation of this and then I walked out of the theater being like, that was great. So I'm fine with either of those. Greg, you've also read The History of Sound. Do you have an opinion?
Yes, I do have an opinion. So I actually, I'm just going to put it out there. This is where I would go for one battle after another. So you ceded territory that I was planning to give, because I do think it stands out on a writing level. But No Other Choice at number one is a great choice and is a really excellent film. And when I think about my favorite screenplays are screenplays where I've seen so many movies, I know so many formulas, and I have no idea where this is going. And that is definitely one of them. That doesn't necessarily work for me picking a runner-up when it's like books I've already read and pretty clear. So I think I appreciate the Hamnet olive branch, the tree in the woods in a cave that you offered us. But I'll take History of Sound as the honorable mention there quite gladly, and we'll see how it continues to do.
I also would perhaps obviously would pick History of Sound over Hamnet. I shouldn't say obviously, because History of Sound was my number 6. I didn't actually nominate it in the nomination episode, but it was vying for that final thing with Begonia, which I feel like if I had seen the original movie Begonia was based on, there's a chance I would then push for that a little bit more. And we've discussed, we go back, listen to our Frankenstein episode if you want to hear more about how we feel about the adaptation. It definitely made some bold choices in terms of the text. So I mean, I do like that as an option. And I do think if there was a lot of Hedda energy, I also would have been like, yeah, Hedda, that's a good choice here. But I think History of Sound makes more sense here because, again, to me, so much of Hedda is more about the lead acting performance. not to spoil future discussion, but I'm going to be much more involved in like, let's go with Hedda somewhere around there. Not that we have to mention every single nominee, but Greg mentioned Wake Up Dead Man's weird in this category, sort of in the same way that One Battle is. Like One Battle is maybe a very loose adaptation. Wake Up Dead Man isn't. It's an original story, but is carrying forward characters, ends up in adapted, is really well written. All credit for that. And we love Ryan Johnson, and I'm sure we would love to give him awards all the time. But I think History of Sound makes a lot of sense for the honorable mention here. Especially, pairing that with No Other Choice feels, that just feels good. LTR. That feels like a good LTR pairing there.
It does.
I love it. No, this is barely getting any awards anywhere else. These we're the smallest of regional critics here. So outstanding. Up next.
Well, I just got to throw in, because I don't know if we're going to come back and give any other love to the Hedda heads here. Nia DaCosta has a new movie in theaters, and you all will not believe how different it is from Hedda. Like, just get ready and go see 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. If people are listening to this and are like, I don't know if I should go see that, go see that movie. We will be talking about Bone Temple at next year's LTRs. I guarantee it, and it wouldn't just be me.
But Greg, you say that, but you don't know anything about the Bone Temple in the movie Hedda. So I think that you need to wait until you see the movie. That was a joke. There's no Bone Temple.
Wow.
In the movie Hedda.
Wow.
That's okay. They don't all land. Sometimes they flop, and they just lead to very confused looks from everyone you were talking.
Nia DaCosta's first movie was a horror movie, Candyman, right?
Candyman, The Marvels, Hedda, 28 Years Later. I mean, one for them, one for me, one for right? Like, pretty good stuff.
Is Candyman one of the ones for her?
It's very well directed. Even though I would say the plot is not awesome of Candyman.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. Let's
original
move on
screenplay?
to original screenplay. The nominees for Best Original Screenplay are Black Bag by David Koepp, Marty Supreme, Ronald Bronstein, and Josh Safdie. The Secret Agent, Kleber Mendonça Filho. Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier and Eskil Vogt. Sinners, Ryan Coogler. Sorry Baby, Eva Victor. And Weapons, Zach Kreger. Greg.
All right.
Apologies.
So this is a tough category. Lots of respect. Whoever made this list, all geniuses. We can all be agreed on that point. I think it seems clear to me the consensus here is probably with a win for Sinners because of its deep originality, its social commentary themes, just a great, like, also never mind the fact that if you'd walked in not knowing what Sinners was about and you got to that halfway point and the movie totally changed, it would be just, completely wonderful and exciting. So I'm going to propose Sinners for the winner here. Honorable mention gets trickier in my book. Again, there's a lot of good stuff here. In my opinion, we've honored Black Bag and Sorry Baby already. I'm not quite sure writing is where I'd go for Weapons or for Sentimental Value, even though that's an unfair statement to both of those movies, right? Both of those are excellent in terms of screenplay. So I'm a little stuck, but I'm leaning towards Marty Supreme or The Secret Agent for honorable mention. So I'll start with a wibbly wobbly bid like that.
I like both of those choices, but I think I'm thinking through this in real time. If you're thinking about the Secret Agent does have a much more complicated. Well, actually, they're both like that. I was going to say The Secret Agent has a more complicated structure to deal with in its screenplay because of all the time jumps, and we kind of have to, and because it's like mysterious about what's going on, and then has to kind of all click together at the end. So that would be a point in its favor. But there's some great lines in Marty Supreme. Like, it's so funny. And Timothée Chalamet has so many great monologues. And so, yeah, that's tough. That was not helpful. I'm sorry.
No. I think that that's what we're talking through. I'm with Greg. I mean, I think Sinners, this is the closest to a unanimous. We had three number ones, one number two. This might be the only time that something got all 4 nominees. Maybe maybe there's one other time, but I think that feels pretty locked in that we would want to give Sinners the win here. I will just note, like in looking at it, I was thinking, not that we have to go back and change history, but like, oh, if we gave something to Sentimental Value here, does that change how we feel about supporting actor if we don't want to have 2 honorable mentions? Is this where we do that? Because I actually think this is a good place for Sentimental Value, because the sort of family dynamics of what's happening and the little details that are in there. I think the writing is pretty good for it, but that said, Marty Supreme and Secret Agent also seem, this is a really tough category. Like, this felt like there were a dozen movies and any of them winning would have felt good for me. And we're down to 7 here, 4, 5, 6, 7. And like, I still feel pretty good, though I think that Greg's eliminations of like, we gave Black Bag and Sorry Baby something, maybe Weapons this isn't the place for it. And again, I might be on an island with Sentimental Value. But yeah, I'm only making it more complicated by adding a third movie back in to the honorable mention discussion. But Antonio, what do you think across these 3?
I'm of the same mind as Greg. So Sinners, obviously, for number 1, and then for me, it is between Marty Supreme and The Secret Agent. I might give it to Marty Supreme, just because the idea, I like the idea of Josh Safdie coming away with something today, and this might be his category. So that's what I would do.
And just think about how
Are
much
you
time
worried
we
about
spent.
Benny? Are you worried about Benny?
I'm not worried about
Benny will be fine. Think about how much time we spent talking about the vampire monologue in our Marty Supreme review.
It's true.
Right? Like, the fact that stayed in there and we kind of were like, but it's so specific. I feel like that speaks to the writing.
Lost screenwriter and general amazing human being Damon Lindelof today posted about how he's been trying to convince all his friends and family that it's a truthful line. So you should check out his social media.
Oh, amazing.
Josh Safdie has confirmed that at one point he wrote an ending that when they jumped to the concert in the 1980s, that concert scene was going to end with Marty being bitten by the guy. Spoilers for our Marty Supreme episode and sort of for the Marty Supreme movie. That doesn't really exist. I like the idea of it being Marty Supreme for what Antonio said about Josh Safdie.
That was convincing.
I'm in on that with love for The Secret Agent, because I think Secret Agent is really good. I think a screenplay would be a good place for it, but I think that's also true for Marty Supreme, and I like Marty Supreme winning here, or honorable mentioning here, which is a real win when compared to Ryan Coogler's Sinners, which again, probably the most agreement we were going to get immediately off the cuff. Okay, up next.
Can I read the nominees for actors?
Of course, yes.
Yeah,
please.
Do it.
All right. So our nominees, the letter nominees for Best Actress are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Julia Garner for Weapons, Renata Rensva for Sentimental Value, Amanda Seyfried for The Testament of Anne Lee, Emma Stone for Begonia, and Tessa Thompson for Hedda. So here, as I alluded to earlier, this is the performance that I had the most investment in, but it feels unfair because Greg hasn't seen this one yet. But Tessa Thompson and Hedda, I thought was absolutely incredible. She's my top person, but I understand. I didn't have Amanda Seyfried in my top 5, but it was close, and I thought she was incredible in The Testament of Anne Lee. So I would. So I feel like it's between the two of them, maybe for our lead. So I'll open that up to you all. Or do you agree that those are our top 2? I mean, Greg can't say for Tessa Thompson, but
I co-sign that.
I mean, I'll just say, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're coming in with the default assumption that both Jessie Buckley and Rose Byrne have won so many things that we're fine. Like, not including them in the discussion, I would assume maybe kind of not blind, but not without having paid attention to the awards, there might be more support for one or both of them. But they're doing great. They're having a great time. So, that said, I think that it makes sense to come down to those two. All due respect to Julia Garner, Renata Reinsve, and Emma Stone, who are all excellent. So yeah, I'm in favor of that. I mean, I think there is something that's like vaguely funny if this is the second year in a row that Greg, the person who sees almost every movie, ends up having to sign off on a lead actress winner on the like one movie he hasn't seen yet. Because it was Marianne Jean-Baptiste in last year. That we really pushed through the committee. Yeah, I mean, given where the conversation has gone already, I personally would be okay with saying, okay, well, if Tessa Thompson wins, Amanda Seyfried as honorable mention. In the past, we have done co-winners, as referenced earlier. If there was a real push to do co-winners, I think we did that. It might have been lead actress in the first year. We might have done Greta Lee and someone else. I can't remember.
Sandra Hüller, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that doesn't mean we have to do that. I don't know.
I mean, most of the other people on this list are likely getting Oscar nominations. So I like the idea that we're picking the two that aren't. I mean, Julia Garner is also not going to get anything, but
she gets to be Silver Surfer. And isn't that also like being an award? Instead of just getting one, you get to be an award.
She is the award.
I'm cool with a co-winner, with two winners. Greg,
what do you think?
Would that
Greg?
be okay with you? Yeah.
It's fine with me. I'm staying quiet because, as was said, I haven't seen Hedda.
But
I could go upstairs and watch it, and maybe you guys will still be recording when I finish.
You should during the nomination episode. I don't know if this one will go long enough for you to watch it. But I mean, I guess, like, what do you want to say about Amanda Seyfried? Anything to add to, like, where do you think, would you be like, yes, co-winner? Or do you feel honorable mention is an unfair marginalization?
Co-winner feels like a cop-out to me, just like on principle. So but I'm fine with whichever order. I mean, I think I did a whole episode by myself. I have dragged you all to be thinking about Testament of Anne Lee, even though they didn't let you see it for a long time. I just cannot get over that performance. And, again, I saw that movie like 2.5 months ago, and I haven't stopped thinking about it and how good it is. And so it's been on my mind a lot. So I would go there and then to Tessa Thompson of the two, just again, because I haven't seen Hedda. But Tessa Thompson's awesome, and Nia DaCosta is awesome. You guys should go see 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, now in theaters. So I really don't. The only other thing to say is, like, I don't think we will ever see a performance like Amanda Seyfried's in The Testament of Anne Lee again. What is nuts is The Housemaid is absolute trash movie-going experience. But she is so good at this, like, soapy, deranged, it's not Colleen Hoover, but it might as well be Colleen Hoover content. So, like, the fact that, like, with this on my mind, I saw this other performance, it's like, yeah, she's pretty incredible. But I am also fine. Amanda Seyfried, it's not going anywhere. She'll be back in the Academy Awards mix many times still. So I have no bad feelings giving it to Tessa Thompson.
I don't know if anyone said this, but anything you would say about Timothée Chalamet's performance in Marty Supreme, you could also say about Amanda Seyfried in The Testament of Anne Lee. It's just gender difference, I feel like, in terms of, like, you know what I mean? Like the compliments you would give them in terms of their commitment to the role.
So to clarify, she's both Jessie Buckley and Timothée Chalamet. Jessie Buckley in Hamnet and Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme. And that's good enough for second place.
I mean, if we feel strongly, I'm okay. But this is the one thing Antonio really, really wanted, and I support it. So, I'm fine either way. This seems good. But if we really, really wanted to flip it, I'm okay with that too.
I don't think Antonio was okay with flipping it. If we,
I don't think so either.
Because you have seen that, and I think you would be like, no, I think Tessa Thompson was notably better.
Well, I mean, come on, they're wildly different roles, right? And so I just really love the movie Hedda, and I think that so much of it depends on Tessa Thompson. And like I said this in my Letterboxd review, that the last time part of the reason I didn't see the movie Hedda, it took me a while to see Hedda Gabler, was the last time I saw Hedda Gabler on stage. It was Kate Blanchett on stage, like playing Hedda Gabler, and she was incredible. And I was just like, well, what could possibly compare to that? And then I watched this movie, and I was like, oh, that. But I also cannot deny that Amanda Seyfried was incredible and in a really difficult role. So I'm fine to, as long as Tessa Thompson is honored, then I'm okay with that. And we can put Amanda Seyfried as a single winner, and then honorable mention to Tessa Thompson. That's fine with me.
Jen, how do you feel about that? Because you're strong on Hedda as well.
I am.
Or would you rather Tessa top? Because I really can go either way. Like, I'm back and forth.
Yeah, I can go either way too. I feel like because Greg, to make this more reflective of us as a group, because Greg hasn't seen Hedda yet, to make it more fair, I think we should do Amanda Seyfried first.
That shouldn't factor in. I didn't do the work. Don't give me the benefit.
I mean, but you do so much. But you do so much more work.
And I mean, to not to have this necessarily be the tipping point, but looking at the nominee list, Amanda Seyfried is number 1 for 3 of us, and then Tessa Thompson was a number 1, and then a number 5, a number 6 for me, because she was right outside, so that she almost was in my list. So
the math works for that.
Okay. And then maybe we have to reopen the envelopes once Greg sees Hedda. Maybe he's like, no, change it, like change the whole thing.
I like how, because I haven't seen Hedda and know nothing about it, I'm just picturing Passing, which must be the last Tessa Thompson movie.
It's like the opposite role of
the last Oscar bait.
Passing. So funny that you mentioned that. Passing, also a great movie that got 0 recognition.
That was a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I do think it's important for Tessa Thompson to get a recognition. Like, now that I've typed it in, I'm like, honorable mention. But I don't want to do co-winners. Greg is right. That's weak. And we've already done, maybe we've done our 1 co-winners for the time. Next up is actor. Jen, do you want to read the nominees, or do you want me to read them while you think?
Sure. No, I can read them.
Okay.
For Best Actor, our nominees for the letters are Lee Byung-hun in No Other Choice, Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, Paul Mescal for The History of Sound and Hamnet, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, Josh O'Connor for Wake Up Dead Man, and see the list of other movies he's done this year, Jesse Plemons for Begonia. So this is also a tough category. Michael B. Jordan, I think, was on all 4 of our lists, but was not at the top of mine, maybe, but like was second. So from a consensus perspective, I would put forth him as the winner. And then I would probably do, this is hard. Wait, what did we do with the other category? Did we give Josh O'Connor anything? Or
no.
Did we wait?
No, we didn't. We
said we were waiting.
Didn't give him anything?
We waited. We said we were waiting, and we were going to fight it out.
We already awarded 3 people in supporting actor. We had no room for Josh O'Connor as a 3rd honorable mention.
Okay. Well, then I would say we do Michael B. Jordan as the winner, Josh O'Connor as the honorable mention. That is my proposal.
I flip it. I love Michael B. Jordan. He's great. I would flip those 2. This is obviously where I've been building to from my hype draft forward, which I think had all 3 of those. And poor Phoenician scheme that's just left behind. So I would flip them, but I do think those are the 2 names that stand out to me on this list. No disrespect to anybody else on this list.
Go ahead.
It's Wagner Moura is what's standing out for me, which it's hard because we don't have to be like just different from the Oscars. Like, I think we have our instinct for that, and that's fine. And it's like this possibility of like, it's, in a week from recording, and presumably by the time this comes out, he may already have not gotten an Oscar nomination, which means then he might not have a chance to win. But if he does get an Oscar nomination, he might become the front runner. So that's confusing. And he is really, really good. I think Josh O'Connor has to be in here. Like, and so my question is, I'm up for Michael B. Jordan because he's amazing, incredible, and all that in Sinners. We've given Sinners some things already. So it's a little spread the wealth thing of like, are we going to give another award for Sinners, or even, you know, whether it's honorable mention or win? I'm not, you know, that's sort of up in the air. And it would be for me, Wagner Moura, as the person on the outside. All due respect to Timothée Chalamet, who again is just for me having the 1-2 of, you know, the front, you know, the real front runner for actor in the real awards now, and also recent winner. But I mean, that's pretty undeniable. I mean, I think in isolation, all of these are undeniable. So it's tough. But yeah, the Wagner Moura is the wrench in the work for me, thinking about this as Josh O'Connor and Michael B. Jordan. Name, letter, name is about being thrown off with Wagner Moura.
Jen, you seem like a challenger to that point of view. What do you? Sorry, Antonio. Go ahead. Dumb joke.
For me, it's actually, even though I know Timothée Chalamet is the front runner. I first of all, I would put Josh O'Connor probably as the winner. If I wanted him to win an award today, and so that's why my initial instinct was like, oh well, we'll give him supporting. But since we give him nothing, yeah, then here.
I mean, we were talking about making a new award just for him. So it seems fair.
Co-winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm fine with Josh O'Connor winning here. In terms of honorable mention, it's between Timothée Chalamet and Michael B. Jordan, but we did give him Timothée Chalamet's already a Letters winner and is probably about to win an Oscar. So I'd probably put Michael B. Jordan. I would put Michael B. Jordan over Wagner Moura, maybe. I don't know. That's really tough. But Josh O'Connor is probably who I'd put as the winner here for actor.
I like that. You know, not just because I think, you know, it would be most prominently Wake Up Dead Man, but also in the mastermind, he's very good in the lead, and then it is more supporting for History of Sound, but that just only adds to his resume here. And there's also a movie called Rebuilding, which we all knew and love, and I'm sure he did great in. So I'm good with him winning. I mean, I'm also fine with Michael B. Jordan. You know, I think Chalamet and Moura are very. I mean, it's hard to turn them away, but it's also Michael B. Jordan. I mean, look what he did in that movie. I mean, what else can you say?
Done.
Josh O'Connor,
yeah,
winner, and winner, and then Michael B. Jordan for honorable mention.
We give a hat tip to Wagner Moura.
Sure. If only there was a category at some point where we could honor the secret agent. Hey, let's move on to best ensemble. Our nominees in this category are Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sinners, Thunderbolts, Wake Up Dead Man, and Weapons. And I'm going to, based on what the conversation we just had around actor, winner Marty Supreme, honorable mention Secret Agent. That's my proposal.
Ooh, I like it.
I think you forgot about Thunderbolts, right?
I mean,
that was an
no, but you meant
thing.
to say it for winner. No, PT still hasn't seen Thunderbolts.
Winner asterisk. It's true. I have not seen Thunderbolts.
And look, you were trying to hide it. See, I own my Hedda mistake.
Once the conversation became about the viability of Thunderbolts as a winner in this category, I would have stepped away.
Florence Pugh and Louis Pullman, and Sebastian Stan.
Those are all.
I'm sure forgetting a bunch of other people. They're great. Yeah,
I mean, and it. You know, we're in the zone where it's like, oh, One Battle After Another and Sinners are incredible and ensemble, but how many? You know, we're giving a lot of awards, and once we get to, we have picture and director or director and picture after this. So I feel like this is not a place to. That's why I didn't put them forward here. But
I have a stupid suggestion. Can we pick the 2 movies that have Wheaties boxes?
The Best Ensemble Wheaties Award.
Yeah. Because I was about to make the joke, I have the wrong Wheaties box, but I'm like, wait a minute. I'm onto something here. No, I'm just kidding. That was not a serious suggestion.
I like PT's initial bid. I think when we talked about Marty Supreme and we got so deep on all the clever casting, I thought that felt like exactly the kind of thing I want ensemble. It's not a best casting award, it's a best ensemble. And the suggestion to pull in the secret agent is almost the opposite by casting a lot of like not well-known people. I mean, maybe better known in Brazil than here, but it's like a lot of ordinary people doing really extraordinary work. It's also a great ensemble. So I like those.
Antonio?
Fine with it, with the understanding that Sinners is about to get awarded in our last 2 categories at some point. So I'm fine. I probably would flip it. I'd probably put Secret Agent over Marty Supreme, but I'm fine with Marty Supreme. With Marty Supreme and Secret Agent honorable mention.
Yeah, I mean, I could be talked into that as well. I could also be talked into if someone really was advocating for Weapons, which no one is. But Weapons being in here as well as Wake Up Dead Man, inspired choices. Great job by the nominators, whoever they are. Okay.
Shout out to the. I'm sure we're going to do a review about Secret Agent, especially if it makes a big splash at the Oscars. But like, shout out to the woman who works in the identity card office.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was the best. Where she like asks him out by typing on her typewriter. It was great. Interesting that we picked 2 movies where it's a really deep cast. Like the ensemble is like has a lot of people and a lot of like quirky side characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very telling.
And you know, I feel like there's a different path we would have gone where this would be like the runaway consensus winner might be Wake Up Dead Man if we hadn't given a lead performance and a featured performance already in the reference for that movie. But yeah, great. So Marty Supreme, the winner, and the Secret Agent honorable mention. Let's go on to director. Greg, would you like to read the nominees and make a suggestion?
It's my suggestion again? Oh, no. All right. For the final nominees for Best Director is Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Ryan Coogler, Sinners, Mona Fastfold, The Testament of Anne Lee, Park Chan-wook, No Other Choice, Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. Ooh, I mean, this is, I think, you know, for me, this is where PTA deserves it. We didn't give much to One Battle After Another so far tonight. It is inevitable, but it is also an astounding work of filmmaking. And I think direction feels apt. I don't know if we need to start talking about this one and the next one in concert. Of these choices, I would probably go PTA wins, Coogler as honorable mention. But I could easily flip those. I could easily choose a woman because I do believe women direct movies. But yeah, I'll go with that for my initial. PTA wins, Ryan Coogler, honorable mention.
That's what I would do too.
It just makes sense. It just feels good.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and we've done a really good job, like not just falling in line with the Oscars so far. And so I think this is the place where it's like, we can acknowledge they're getting it right. Most likely.
Yeah. The idea that it's probably going to be, it's almost certainly Paul Thomas Anderson with like Ryan Coogler, probably the upset pick, I guess Chloe Zhao, but like that also wouldn't be a terrible choice. Like, so, Josh Safdie totally deserves a Park Chan-wook, totally deserves, but we gave them stuff in other places. I think we all collectively had the knowledge of like, yeah, we know what's coming. We know what's going to happen, and it's going to be PTA and Coogler here in director. So PTA winner, Coogler honorable mention, maybe the easiest category of the night. Congratulations, Greg. Good job. Antonio, would you like to read the nominees? Do you want me to read the nominees for Best Picture before you make your suggestion?
No, I love reading nominees. I'll read them.
Please.
The letters nominees for Best Picture are Avatar, Fire and Ash, Black Bag, Begonia, Hamnet, Hedda, The History of Sound, K-pop Demon Hunters, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Wake Up Dead Man.
Look what we did.
We rule.
Go us.
We do.
We're so good.
It's incredible. Incredible list. It's boring, but I'm happy to debate this, but I would probably go One Battle After Another, Sinners. But again, happy to debate this and happy to hear alternative perspective, especially since we just gave director to in that same order. So what are your thoughts?
I really wanted you to be like, I'll debate it, but I think it's got to be Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Hedda. Like that's, we can debate.
I almost did.
And the letters winner is Black Bag. People will be like, what?
Just imagine a world where Black Bag came out in December, though.
I know, right?
I honestly think it might have had a little bit of a play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, sort of like F1, it is a little too much of a throwback. It's such a well done one, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not quite, forward moving. And
I think if it came out in like October, September or October, it might have taken away some of the weapons, like secondary pop movie juice, and maybe we'd be seeing anyway. Jen, you were going to have a real response to it.
I was going to say, let's be intentional about these two categories. So I would say that whatever we did for the last one, we have to flip it for this one, so it's not exactly the same. So if we did PTA,
which we
Ryan
did.
Coogler, I would say we do Sinners, One Battle After Another, just to like even it out. But we don't have to do that.
Coincidentally, in line with Jen's ordering Sinners number 1 and One Battle number 2. How convenient.
Nothing to see here.
How convenient.
So I like the spirit of that comment, and every single time I've thought about these movies, I kind of think of them, as like they deserve equal attention. As the attention has fallen more on One Battle, I've been like, don't forget Sinners. We need more Sinners. We need more Sinners. But if I, in the cold light of 12:37 a.m., if I am really put to task between those two movies, I do think One Battle After Another is just a hair better than Sinners. And I have deep, passionate love for both of them, despite the fact I forgot Sinners on my top 10. But I do love them both very much. But there's something about the way in which One Battle Another speaks so dramatically to our contentious political moment that I can't deny. I'm sticking with Antonio.
I mean, yeah, to me, these are the two movies that are going to be remembered for, when you think of 2025, it's going to be these two movies. All due respect to the other movies that are on this list, to the other movies that have, that are out, there's some all-timers that are going to be in, as Greg, I think, was saying in the Marty Supreme episode, things that are going to be in the montages forever. But I think that, the top two in that category are these two. I mean, I do kind of feel like One Battle is that little step higher, but I do like Jen's idea, as self-serving as it is in comparison to her list, to balance it out. And I think if we were going to do that, it does make sense to give the directing bump to PTA, and then maybe the movie bump to Sinners. But I would say One Battle over Sinners. I mean, again, that's also my order. That's the 1, 2. So now we're just coming to our own feelings on it. But I do lean that way. But I guess I'd like to hear the argument a little bit more. Maybe I don't know if there's more to say. If it's just it is what it is. But it does feel like this is the One Battle year. And then Sinners was also great and also deserves to be mentioned. But like, it's been Past Lives, and it's been Dune Part 2, and now or is it going to then be One Battle After Another as the third, or are we going to split these? And how would we feel?
Saying our best? Did we have honorable mentions for Best Picture last year or the year before? I can't remember.
I don't know if we. That's a great question. I don't know if we did. And
it does feel like we probably did honorable mentions for everything because we're indecisive.
That does sound like
the
us.
like horrible part of me wants to like rank these choices down. Like we could do like a full 10-1, but we're not doing that. So
no,
but it would be fun. We could just rank choice vote, just play it out for all of us.
Wow. I mean, between these two?
No.
Wait, you mean the whole list?
12. Yeah.
The whole list? Oh, wow.
Not seriously suggesting that, but it'd be a fun game.
That would be a fun thing to do next year before we record.
Mm.
If we somehow managed, but then it would ruin the surprise, I guess, of what our lists are.
Yeah.
But if we just did it for Best Picture, that would be fun.
We gave an honorable mention to Dee Dee, which very LTR choice.
Yeah, that is a very LTR choice. I mean, The Wind is Blowing won battle with Sinners in second. I'm totally fine with that. I get it. I just like vampires slightly more, so I think that's the only. I mean, it's more. There's more to it to that, but we're Greg has to go to bed, so I don't want to necessarily belabor it.
I will also note we gave Sinners many more awards, like during the course.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Of what we did, so that's is fair. Kind of the like, sorry you didn't win the very, very top thing, but you're going to get the most in the little box where they say most wins. It will be. It will still be Sinners. Okay, so one battle winning, Sinners honorable mention. Jen has signed off on it. Real quickly, before we wrap up here, what seems like a very short episode, barely over an hour, but yet the 5th hour of recording. Here is a rundown of what we came up with for the 3rd annual LTRs in Best Supporting Actor. Do we want to take turns doing this? Sorry, should we?
No, you just do it real quick.
Okay. Well, in Best Supporting Actor, we gave the award to Delroy Lindo in Sinners. We gave 2 honorable mentions because we're very wishy-washy to Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another and to Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. In Best Supporting Actress, we gave the win to Marissa Abella in Black Bag. We gave honorable mention to Odessa Azion in Marty Supreme. In Featured Performer, we gave the win to John Carroll Lynch in Sorry Baby. And we gave the honorable mention to Bridget Everett in Wake Up Dead Man. Adapted Screenplay, we had No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook et al. As the winner, and The History of Sound by Ben Shattuck as the honorable mention. An Original Screenplay, we gave Sinners by Ryan Coogler the win, and the honorable mention is Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie, and Ronald Bronstein. In Actress, we gave the win to Amanda Seyfried in The Testament of Anne Lee, and honorable mention to Tessa Thompson in Hedda. In Best Actor, we gave it to Josh O'Connor for Wake Up Dead Man, The Mastermind, and also slightly The History of Sound. The honorable mention was Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. Ensemble, we gave the win to Marty Supreme and an honorable mention to The Secret Agent. In Director, we gave the win to Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, an honorable mention to Ryan Coogler for Sinners. And in Best Picture, we, like every other organization in the world, correctly gave Best Picture to One Battle After Another and an honorable mention to Sinners. How do we feel?
Ooh, that was a good list.
Okay.
I would just say, like, our Best Picture nominees, that's a really neat and tidy package just to, like, give out to people to be like, here are movies from 2025 that you should watch.
Yes. Catch up on these. I agree. Jen, why don't you close us out?
I will. So thanks, PT, for leading us through this process. I think we did the LTRs, the letters, proud. Antonio, I'm really glad we got to fight for Hedda together. Where can folks find you? And I know there's only one place.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Elefano, AELEFANO. Greg, where can they find you?
I'm me sitting in the corner being a little bit sad that I haven't yet watched Hedda. Sorry for letting the whole team down, all right? I'm sorry. Once I do watch it, I will log it on Letterboxd, where I am Ion Cannon, EYEONCANON. PT, where can people find you, the show, and Tessa Thompson?
I don't have that information on Tessa Thompson, but I do know that you can find me on Letterboxd at PT McNiff, PTMCNIFF. Keep an eye out for when I log Thunderbolts. That will happen at some point, but it didn't happen in time for today. You can find the show on Letterboxd as well at LTR Pod. You can also find us on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at The Long Take Review. You can email us, thelongtakereview@gmail.com, or you can follow us wherever you get your podcast, wherever you're listening right now. Hit subscribe, hit like, hit add, hit heart, hit whatever the mechanism is, so you can get new episodes from us. Jen, where can they all find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Sopchockchai, SOPCHOCKCHAI, and on Letterboxd at Qui-Gon Jen. We do not have time for me to talk about all the movies I have not seen from 2025, so we'll just leave it there. Is there something from,
Yeah.
Hunger and Thirst, right? Isn't that one of the songs? We hunger and thirst because it's really late. Thanks for listening. You can follow The Long Take Review on Substack at thelongtake.substack.com. Subscribe for free, and you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops. We will also receive occasional written reviews of new Star Wars and Marvel